This is an Actor's Notes. I am William Walker. Let's get right into it. Chapter 2, Relaxation. I'd like to start with a quote, and I'm not sure where I discovered this quote, if I came up with it or what, but the quote is, "Relax the body so the spirit can soar." Relax the body so the spirit can soar. As I mentioned, I believe, in the previous chapter, relaxation is key for the actor. It is of vital importance. Tension is the enemy of the actor. And so, just like we did with the bullet points and summary of chapter 1, I'm going to go over everything of that is going to be in this entire chapter, and then we're going to break them down one by one and get into them. So let's get into it. Chapter 2, Relaxation. Relaxed and open, what we want to focus on. Breath. Forced, controlled, slow, fast, free, restricted. Let it be. Check in with your breathing. Check in with your breath. The breath controls the body and mind. Where do I feel it in my body? How am I breathing? Right? Is shoulding someone interjecting ego? You should do this is ego. You should do this. You should do that. Is that always ego? Really surrender to the experience. What's the difference when we speak truth versus when we don't speak truth? Truth resonates. Integrity. How do we feel this in our bodies? Do we feel the difference when we speak truth versus when we lie? How do we feel it? Messy and ugly is okay. Figure it out. Not in control, surrender. Reacting, let it just happen. Scene transitions. Practice not doing and everything will fall into place. Acting with no expectations. A good artist lets his intuition lead him wherever it wants. He doesn't think about his actions, they flow from the core of his being. Film, the controlled release of information. Spontaneous, you must be spontaneous. A class pushes you to growth. A scene study class. Any kind of class, improv, comedy, whatever. A class pushes you to growth. Continuing. Acting teaches people how to live. Acting is telling the truth. Acting to wake people up from the coma they're in. Real actors bring joy. Every scene is an emergency. Acting is about giving. Never know how you're going to do something. When you don't know, they don't know. Fascinating, entertaining. Body, soul, feelings, emotions. What an actor shares. And lastly, deep breath. So that's chapter 2. Let's get into it. Again, the title of the chapter is Relaxation. The name of the studio is Along the Way Studios, and the name of the book is An Actor's Notes. Relaxed and open, what we want to focus on. The more relaxed, the better. The more relaxed your body can be, the more relaxed your mind can be, your emotions can be, the better everything. The greater everything is going to be. Tension is the enemy of the actor. Tension will kill your instincts. Tension will hinder your expression. Tension will stop you from achieving fullness of the metaphor. Tension is this. It's a clenched fist. It's not an open palm. It's the difference. This is tension. This is relaxed and open. When you're like this, you cannot receive. When you are like this, you can receive. right? If that's the metaphor is the open palm. And we want our whole body to not be this. Anywhere in our body that is like this, we want our body to be an open palm. So we check in with our body. We breathe. Am I holding on to anything? Am I holding on to anything in my shoulder? Am I carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders? Am I holding on to anything in my belly? Can I let go of anything in my belly? How about my heart? Am I holding on to anything in my emotions? Am I holding on to happiness, sadness, good, bad, ugly? Am I holding on to any of it? Can I? Just like I'm releasing the tension in my body, can I release the tension in that emotion? What about a thought? What if a thought is plaguing me? What if I can't get this thought out of my head? What if it's just attacking me? Just like you breathe into the tension in your body, in your shoulder, and you go, and you release the tension in your shoulder. Just like you release the tension in your emotion, you identify the thought in your mind and you breathe into that. And you let that go, just as you let the tension in your body, you let the tension in your emotions. You let it all go. You relax your instrument. So your body is your instrument. It is through your body that you contain harmony and balance, or inharmony, disharmony, and chaos. It is in your body that you transmit the message of the play. It is in your actor's body that you transmute the metaphor, that you can become the metaphor, you can become the character in the body. Our body is what we have, our resonance, the core, the center of who we are. And the breath is how we do this. We check in with our breath. Is it, and we're moving on to the next point, breath, forced, controlled, slow, fast, free, restricted, let it be, check in with the breath. Yes, exactly. See, we identify if we're holding on to things by breathing. Are we breathing fully and deeply into these areas? Are we free and expressive, or is there tension? Is it a clenched fist, or is it an open palm? Where is your breath? Is your breath, especially at the beginning of a scene or at the end of a scene, and maybe this is a secret into your character, a secret into how you play your character. Is it? But as an actor, for a baseline, is your breathing forced? Is it controlled? Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it free? Is it restricted? I recommend you just let your breath be. Just the more relaxed, the better. And audibly exhaling too. You want to be expressive as an actor. How dare you? The deeper and fuller you're breathing, the deeper and more expressive you're feeling, right? That just makes good sense, does it not? Okay. Check in with your body, check in with your breath. This is seriously important. I almost obsessively, compulsively at this point am checking in with my body and my breathing and my emotions and my thoughts, checking with how am I breathing? Am I holding anything in my belly? Am I holding anything in my mind, a thought? Am I holding anything in my emotional state? Can I let anything go to where I can be free? To where I can let it be. Tension is the enemy of the actor. You want, as an actor, to be as free and as expressive and as relaxed and as open as you can possibly be. That just brings a smile to my face because so many actors are so serious. So many actors are dramatic. But it's all about the drama, and there's no freedom. There's no exploration. I have behind me the play Macbeth, William Shakespeare's Macbeth. one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. I guess you could call it a tragedy. It's rather dark. It's one of his darker plays. I heard it said that the play of Macbeth is that Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, behind their wake, it was a wake of blood they left in their wake. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth left a wake of blood as they walked, because there was so much bloodshed coming into their rise to power. And so I got to be Macbeth. I got to act Macbeth. And with my Lady Macbeth, we were butting heads. You know, she was telling me how I was supposed to do the role. My acting partner was directing me, because she had, come from the Royal Shakespeare Court, the Royal Court, where Shakespeare was supposed to be done in a certain way, right? Oh, for a muse of fire, right? It's supposed to be done like that. There was no other way Shakespeare was to be done. Well, so I was Macbeth and she was Lady Macbeth. And in hindsight, it was the most amazing dynamic, because that's exactly the dynamic between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, first in hindsight, looking back at it. But my acting partner thought that it had to be done a certain way. And there was a lot of rigidity, and there was a lot of stiffness and hardness and stubbornness. But boy, howdy, did that work for Lady Macbeth. But eventually, we found harmony between both of us doing it, and I was just exploring, and she was exploring, and through the exploration, we found our harmony. But I noticed that when she finally relaxed and got rid of this idea that it had to be done a certain way, that's when it started shining. So this goes perfectly into the next segue. The next point is shoulding someone ego. You should do this. You should do that. No, you should be doing it this way. Is that always ego? I think so. No, this is the way it should be done. Is that really true for acting? Is there a way it should be done for acting, or are there infinite ways? Are there infinite fractals on how to become the character? Are there infinite pathways to figuring out how to be, and even discovering how to be? You should do this, you should do that. This is the only way. No, There's more than one way to find a character. There's more than one way to play a character. There's more than one way to do Shakespeare. There's more than one way to go about doing anything. There is not only one size fits all when it comes to acting. In fact, uniqueness is what we want. We want originality, right? Is shoulding someone interjecting ego? One of my friends in Austin, he says, don't you should on me. Don't you should me. And I love that. It's establishing boundaries. It's I'm going to live my life the way I see it fit. It's I'm going to do this role the way I see fit. I'm going to do this character the way I see fit, the way I am being led to do it. Don't tell me how to do this, unless your director is helping to direct. But acting is collaborating. Acting is a collaborative art. It's not a one pony show. Even if it's like a main A-list star, and as much as it is their show, it's not going to be a movie told. The story's not going to be told without everyone else in the show, right? It's a collaboration. So, exploration is, instead of shoulding someone, perhaps we could, What would it be like if you did it this way? What if we explored in this direction? What do you think about that? Shoulding is commanding and domination. And perhaps that's not the way. What do you think? Is it better for a director to be totally dominating and saying, this is how it is, this is how it's going to be? This is exactly what time it is. You do it exactly how I say it. Exactly. If I say jump, you say how high. Is that how it's supposed to be done? What do you think? Leave a comment down below. If you've made it this far, leave a like. Maybe comment, maybe subscribe. That's what they say. Anyway, let's go. Continuing on. Really surrender to the experience. It's not acting. It's not acting. It's not pretend. Really surrendering to the experience. This can only happen. You can't fully surrender if there's tension in your body, because you can't surrender that part of your tension. You can't surrender this part of your tension. You can't surrender this part of your tension. Really surrender to the experience. When you really surrender to it all is where the magic happens. It's no longer acting. It's experiential reality. It's unpremeditated, spontaneous behavior. It's unanticipated moment to unanticipated moment to unanticipated moment. Listening to your scene partner, listening to whomever you're acting with, reacting to what they are doing to you, relaxed. Answering truthfully because you are relaxed, because you are listening. Like I said in chapter 1, because you are in the moment. Really surrender to the experience. It's not pretend. It's not striking a pose. It's not gesturing. It's not anything premeditated. As much as you know the lines, as much as you know where it's starting and where it's ending, how you get there is the unknown, ideally. And really surrendering to the experience is, it's the fun. It's the joy of it, which I'm going to get to down here. Real actors bringing joy. What's the difference when we speak truth versus when we don't speak truth? Truth resonates, integrity. So perhaps you're an actor already. Perhaps you've done a couple of plays. Perhaps you've done a lot of plays. Perhaps you've done some movies. Perhaps you've done some TV. Perhaps you've made your own things. You film your own things. Perhaps you've done some acting. Have you noticed that certain takes are better? Have you noticed that certain times you're doing it are better than other times when you're doing it? What's the difference when we speak truth versus when we don't speak truth? Truth resonates in our body. Are you sensitive enough? Are you relaxed enough in your body? Are you free enough in all of the totality of your being? Mind, body, spirit, soul connection. Are you so relaxed through the breath that you can be aware of when you are not telling the truth? What's the difference can you tell the difference versus when you're connecting with the truth versus when you're not connecting with the truth? When you're connecting with whomever you're acting with versus when you're disconnecting, when it's lining up, versus when it's missing, right? You can feel it in your body. You can feel the truth in your body. You can feel the metaphor in your body. The actor is a conduit. The actor can totally become the message of the play, the metaphor of the play, the meaning of the play in everything that they do, the way they breathe, the way they do everything they do, right? That's becoming the metaphor like we talked about in chapter 1. What's the difference when we speak truth versus when we don't speak truth? Can you feel it in your body? Truth resonates. Integrity. Do you know what integrity is versus not integrity, the opposite of integrity, dishonor, lies, I don't know. Anyway, continuing on. I like this part. Just like I didn't know exactly what word to go with right there. This part right here is amazing. This is freedom for the actor. Messy and ugly is okay. Did you hear that, actor? Messy and ugly is okay. Figure it out. Not in control, surrender, reacting. Just let it happen. Messy and ugly is okay. Just figure it out. See, this is where the fun is too. This is what rehearsal's for. This is what an acting class is for. It's to hone becoming the metaphor. It's to hone in on how to channel the message. What is the metaphor? Become it. Breathe it in. Let it happen to you naturally and organically. Breathe it in. Embody it. Breathe it out. And just be it. Let it be. Fumble your way through it. I have this phrase that I like to say a lot. It's, I'm in a band and we have recordings that we do and we do first take, second take, third take, and first take, we always like to say, just fumble your way through it, right? Let's just get one on camera. Let's just get one on tape. Fumble your way through it. Fumble your way through it. Messy and ugly is okay. Do it all in one take. Get a take. Get a usable take. Maybe it's going to be the best take. Maybe it's going to be your most honest take. Maybe the third take is going to be the best take. Who knows? But messy and ugly is okay. Humans are messy and ugly. Relationships are messy and ugly. Plays are messy and ugly. Macbeth is messy and ugly. Okay? Do you get it? Messy and ugly is okay. Figure it out. Not in control. Surrender. Reacting. Just let it happen. And don't forget to keep breathing. Major key. Keep breathing. I wrote down scene transitions, but telling a story the way that you want to tell your story is really important, and you're even down to the scene transition, even the most minute little detail, how you transition your scene can be also a metaphor for the show. Are you doing a graphic match from a little kid's ball, a tennis ball to the sun, to circle to a circle? What are you doing? What metaphor are you telling? What stories are you telling with these scene even down to the most minute detail? Just like for the actor, every gesture can contain the entire play. Every gesture can contain the whole play. The scene transitions can also be a part of the movie, TV show, play, but we are in a theater. This is Along the Way Studios. And the scene transitions are as much of the play as the scene is the play. Practice not doing and everything will fall into place. This is a philosophical idea from an Eastern book of philosophy. Another quote from the Tao Te Ching. I did a whole series on it, commentary on the book. But it says, practice not doing and everything will fall into place. If you want to check that out, you can just go back to my past videos on my YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on. So, practice not doing and everything will fall into place. Yes, see, this is a place of surrender. This is a place of not knowing more than it is of knowing. This is a place of exploration. This is exactly what I was talking about with, is shooting someone ego. This is exactly what I was talking about, is the breath forced? Is it free? Practice freedom. Practice not doing and everything will fall into place. Don't have it all figured out. Practice the exploration, the freedom and the adventure and the search. After all, one of the coolest animes I've seen in quite some time, Hunter x Hunter. In the last episode of the series, the main character, he said, a character he was having a conversation with said, Don't forget to enjoy the side trips, because perhaps something greater than what you're hunting for is waiting right there for you on the side of the road. Perhaps something bigger than what you have in mind for this performance, for this play, is perhaps the journey of what it could be through the breath, through the exploration. What it can be rather than what you already think it should be, is greater than what it is that you're looking for, searching for. It's the journey. After all, many people, many masters of the craft have said that it is the journey that is the most enjoyment-filled, not quite the destination. So enjoy the journey. Practice not doing and everything will fall into place. Do you understand? If you don't, leave a comment. I'll go further into that. Or just go watch some of those Tao Te Ching videos. Go watch Tao Te Ching number 48. If you want to understand, practice not doing and everything will fall into place greater. Okay. Acting with no expectations, that's a similar vibe. Acting with no expectations. Let's move on. Because he doesn't know who he is, people recognize themselves in him. This is one more message from the same book. Because he doesn't know who he is, people recognize themselves in him. Because you become the metaphor, because the actor becomes the metaphor, people can feel freely and deeply and fully. Because the actor is feeling freely and deeply and fully. Because the actor is breathing deeply and fully. Because the actor is relaxed and open and free. The audience, the spectator can be fully open and breathing and free. Do you see the power of the actor? The power of influence? The power of healing? The power to bring joy? Continuing on. A good artist lets his intuition lead him wherever it wants. Your intuition is the play, you guys. Your intuition is all you have. Okay? Don't even listen to me, really. Don't let any man be your teacher. Okay? Let the teacher within be your teacher. If I'm teaching you anything, if I am guiding you anywhere, it is for you to go back to the teacher inside of yourself, the teacher within. If I'm pointing you in any direction, it's back within yourself. It's back to your own intuition, because that is where you're going to shine. That's where you're going to sparkle. That's where you're going to spindle some gold from hay. That's where it's going to be magical. That's where you're going to be spectacular. Follow your intuition. That's all you have. All an actor really has is their own intuition, their own instincts. How they think it should be done in the moment. How do you uniquely feel that it should be done in that moment? And do it like that come hell or high water. Tell everybody else what time it is by yielding to the metaphor and becoming the metaphor, becoming the play. By listening to your intuition. By being relaxed and open. Relax the body so the spirit can soar. Relax the body so the spirit can soar. He doesn't think about his actions. They flow from the core of his being. Exactly. Because you're just in the moment and you're only listening. The actor doesn't think about their actions. They flow from the core of their being. Because they are so relaxed. Because they are so open. Because every gesture they do contains the entire play. You don't think about it anymore. You just are it. You let it be. Your breathing is free and open your breath, every passageway, your vagus nerve is relaxed. Your nervous system is relaxed. And this is very metaphysical and major right here, because the actor's nervous system is relaxed, the audience's nervous system is relaxed. Because the actor's nervous system is relaxed, the spectator's nervous system becomes relaxed. Do you see the power of the actor to uplift humanity? Do you see the power? Continuing on. Film, the controlled release of information. I just wanted to make this as a sidebar. I liked the way this was said. Film, the controlled release of information. Yes. I mean, obviously we all know that that's true. We've all seen countless movies. Hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands of movies. And that's exactly what it is. It's simply the controlled release of information. So perhaps that dispels a little bit of the gravity of making a movie. And perhaps you, listener, are desiring to make a movie, to make a film, to create your own content. If you want to make film, if you want to make a short film, maybe that's goal number one. Write a short film. Write one scene, but film is just simply the controlled release of information. What kind of information do you want to release? What kind of information do you want to... What message do you want to tell? What message do you want to share with humanity? What side of yourself do you want to share for the public to consume, even? Do you want to share all of yourself? Do you only want to share this much of yourself? Film, the controlled release of information. Continuing on. Spontaneity, you must be spontaneous. Boom! Bah! Right? Boom. Sorry if I just busted your eardrums. But you didn't know I was going to do that. Spontaneous. Spontaneity. Boom. Creation. Right? I was talking earlier in the first chapter about how God, before creation came into being, before everything came into being, what some people call the Big Bang, boom, before all that, there theoretically had to be nothing, right? And so if God is real, like, how long was God just chilling up there in divine nothingness, just meditation and stillness before he said, let's go, let there be light, let it get started? And it was. How long did he just sit in a space of stillness, right? Before, boom, spontaneity. Boom, spontaneous creation. The actor has a similar power like this, a metaphysical idea, of course, but there is nothing on stage at the beginning of a play. Nothing happening. Picture a blank stage. Nothing is happening on stage. The lights come up, still nothing on stage. Nothing is happening, okay? An actor comes out on stage and stands center stage. Does nothing, just stands there. The idea that there was nothing and now there is something, just an actor standing there breathing on stage, the metaphysical idea is that because the mere fact that there was nothing, but now there is something. There was nothing, but now there's an actor on stage. There was nothing, and now there is something. Spontaneous creation should be incredible, should be amazing. Your mere presence alone should command. That's the power of the actor. And spontaneity is a part of the actor, being spontaneous creation. Moving on. A class pushes you to growth. And of course, I'm going to talk about my studio, Along the Way Studios, where I'm at right now. And a class pushes you to growth. A class pushes you to not only logically understand things, but to experientially understand them. It pushes you to growth. Wherever you study as an actor, I recommend that you be studying. Stagnation is death to the actor. You have to be growing, and if you're not growing, then a place to be growing is an acting class. Get yourself in a play. Get yourself in a community theater. Get yourself involved somehow. Make your own content. Do your own things. But I will say that being with a competent director, being with a competent teacher of acting, someone who really knows what they're talking about, it can transform your whole life. It can transform everything. The acting class is such an incredible, amazing place. It is a spiritual place. It is a supernatural place. It is a place where literal magic happens, I dare say. Spontaneity happens. Magic moments happen. True, deep life happens. People become metaphors. People transcend themselves. They transcend their own beings and become spontaneous creation and become the metaphor of the play and become everything that you could ever desire in a performance. The acting class, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see people fall on their face. You see people be terrible. You see people where they are connecting. You see people where they aren't connecting. You see the rehearsal process. It is a very philosophical place to find yourself in. It's a very deep place. It's a place of meditation, of contemplation, of reflection, of contemplating what is the truth, what is the way, what is reality, what is illusion, what is perspective, what is point of view. It's basically, if you want to be an actor, it would behoove you to get into a class. Perhaps you want to look into the one at Along the Way Studios. You can email me at the email below and talk more about that if you want. But continuing on, a class pushes you to greater growth. It does. I've taken countless classes, guys, in New York and Los Angeles with the greatest of the greatest teachers in the world, on the planet. The greatest teachers of acting are in New York and Los Angeles. And I've studied with the greats, y'all. So I'm testifying here unto you that that is the case. An acting class pushes you to growth. So if you want to grow as an actor, maybe get in one. Acting teaches people how to live. Acting is telling the truth. This is true. It does teach people how to live. Back before movies, the theater was booming, right? When radio programs happened, people thought that the stories that were being told on the radio were real, right? Didn't that happen with War of the Worlds? People got terrified that aliens were really coming down, that aliens were really attacking. When Orson Welles did his radio program of War of the Worlds in the 50s, 40s, I don't know, 20s, whenever that happened. Acting teaches people how to live. Acting is telling the truth. Yeah, because in a play, when the spectators, when the audience, when they see the actor telling the truth, and they see it, the theater has the ability to change someone. I've been changed by performances. I've been changed by plays. The theater is a conduit for the truth. The theater is like a classroom in a way, a lesson, right? A life lesson in a way. A play is a teaching of a lesson, which is the metaphor for the play. It is a classroom. A movie is a lesson. It is a teaching. It is a wisdom, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. A story is a metaphor, a teaching, a wisdom, right? Acting teaches people how to live. Plays teach people how to live. Through the good, the bad, and the ugly, acting is telling the truth. It's not lying. It's not pretend. It's reality. It's real. It's letting all illusion go and dwelling in reality. And it's transmitting the truth of the play, of the movie, of the TV show, of whatever you're acting. Continuing on. Acting to wake people up from the coma they're in. That's what it's for as well, if it's for anything. To wake people up from the coma they're in. Wake up, right? Don't you just want to wake some people up? Don't you just want to strangle them? No, I'm just kidding. But I'm sure you got some stubborn relationships in your life. Acting is to wake people up from the coma they're in, and that is the power of the actor. To wake someone who is asleep up from the coma they're in. It can show someone the truth. It can open up someone's eyes to the truth. They could be asleep regarding some kind of thing. They see a play, their eyes are opened. They are no longer asleep, right? It can be a play, can be a conduit for revolution even. This is a big idea. A movie is a conduit for revolution. Movies spark revolutions all the time. Whether it's for the good, the bad, or the ugly. Whether it's for holiness and righteousness or depravity and hedonism and sin. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Movies influence them all. Plays influence them all. Hopefully, your acting is the truth. And you are waking people up from the coma they are in. And these notes are to help you, actor, understand the wisdom that I have come to glean from today's masters, right? And what I have learned from the doing of it, right? And you can wake people up from the coma they're in because I have seen it. I have woken people up from comas that they were in. They have told me so. Okay? How did I do this? By becoming the metaphor. Okay, continuing on. Real actors bring joy. That they do. Even after seeing Macbeth, even after going and seeing the tragedy of Macbeth, where a wake of blood is the wake that follows Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. A wake of blood is their train. You can still find joy. It's a release to see people being maniacal and insane. It's a release to be like, oh, whoa, boy, wasn't that something? That was intense. To feel something, actors have the ability to get past people's defenses and have them feel something, to wake them up from the coma they're in, and to bring them joy. It's a joy for the actor to be a conduit for the metaphor, but the actor can also bring joy to the spectator. Why do we love movies? Why do we love Forrest Gump so much? Does that movie not bring joy? Why do we love movies? Why do we love plays? Why do we love art, you know? Real actors bring joy. I'm telling you straight up. Because they are telling you the truth. And the truth brings life. And life and peace and joy, they all come together. They're all congruent with each other. The actor is a pressure release valve for the spectator to feel the things that perhaps a lot of people are feeling pent-up rage. They're just not releasing it like Macbeth and Lady Macbeth did. But to watch Macbeth and Lady Macbeth do it so freely and so fully and so openly is a release. And I dare say that even after seeing something like that, it can produce joy in the spectator. Am I tripping? Tell me in the comments below. If you haven't, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. We're almost done too, so. Every scene is an emergency. I read this in a book once, an acting book. Is every scene an emergency? Is that true? Is every scene an emergency, even the quiet ones, even the calm ones? If the actor treats every scene as an emergency, heightened, urgent, emergency, requires attention, right? Requires alertness, emergency. Got to be on my toes about this, right? Right? Got to be alert. Should every scene, there's that should word again, should every scene be treated as an emergency? Is every scene an emergency? Well, if an actor did approach their scenes, they would be rather alert, they would be listening, they would be paying very close attention, wouldn't they? It would be life and death, wouldn't it? Perhaps treating every scene as an emergency is a key as an actor. Why not give it a shot? Maybe you're acting in something right now. As an experiment, treat it as an emergency. See what happens. Does it make it better? I'm on the inclination. I'm inclined to believe that it would make it better. It would speed it up, I bet. Pick up the pace. Right? I don't know, you tell me. Acting is about giving. Yes, it is. Where did Jesus say? I wrote this down the other day. Acts 20 verse 35 in the Bible, these are the words of Jesus, I think. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And remember that book of philosophy, the Tao Te Ching? It says that because he gives himself up continually, that is why he endures. Giving yourself up. An actor is giving themselves entirely. They are yielding themselves entirely to the play. They are completely surrendered to becoming the metaphor. No longer themselves, fully the metaphor. They are giving the totality of their being to the story, to tell the story for the audience to experience relief and release and feel something. Everything about the actor is giving. The more you give, the more they love you as well. Honestly. Give your whole self up. Give your whole being up. Surrender everything to the moment. Just simply be in the moment. Listen and respond truthfully. Relaxed and open. Never know how you're going to do something. When you don't know, they don't know. And it's fascinating and entertaining. I only have one last thing to say, or maybe two last bullet points, but I'm so glad that this is towards the end because I discovered this in Los Angeles. Never know how you're going to do something. When you don't know, they don't know. I remember the very moment I discovered this. I was in an acting class. I was doing a scene. I was doing a scene from a play. It was me and my lover. We were both cheating on who we were with in this play, right? There was a relationship here, and I was in a relationship with this wife, right? And this girl was married to a husband. We stepped out, and in this play, in this scene, we were looking at a house to buy. And I remember being backstage and asking the actress, I was saying, all right, we ready to go? And then after having prepared, I remember so here's the line between being backstage and on stage, okay? I remember being backstage and stepping on stage, and the moment I stepped on stage, something happened to me where I became the metaphor. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea where the scene was going. What I did know is that I loved this woman, and that I wanted desperately to please her, right? And I think like that was the metaphor for the character that I was playing at the time. The metaphor for the play was love. It was new love, right? And the new love was our story, was a metaphor, and I just didn't want to let her down. And man, at the end of doing this is the last scene of the play too, and at the end of doing it, oh, my heart, oh. I was asked where I felt it in my body, and I was just, man, my heart hurt so much because I just loved her so much, and I wanted to please her so much, and I wanted to be everything and more for this woman, right? And it hurt so much. It was heartache, right? And it was beautiful. And let me tell you, the reactions that people came up to me after the performance and were hugging me, and they said they were hugging me, and they said, "Thank you, thank you." They just were hugging me and saying, "Thank you so much," right? All the while, I'm doing nothing. Okay, I'm exploring. All right, I have no idea what it is I'm doing up there. I am feeling around in the dark. All I have is what my acting partner is giving me. All I have is listening and responding. All I have is the very only moment. That's all I can hold on to. That's it. So in a way, it is an emergency. In a way, it is very desperate. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. And this is one of the most visceral reactions I've ever received from an audience, ever. People were losing losing their mind over it. All the while, I'm just like a leaf in the wind. Never know how you're going to do something. When you don't know, they don't know. When you don't know what's going to happen, the audience doesn't know what's going to happen. And when it's a surprise to you, it's a surprise to them. And whenever you are feeling it deeply, they are feeling it deeply. And it's fascinating and it's entertaining. Last bullet point. Body, soul, feelings, emotions. These are what an actor shares. And a deep breath after this. But we'll end on a deep breath as well. What does an actor share? Body, soul, feelings, emotions. Now, obviously you knew that. But just hearing that out loud simplifies it, doesn't it? What does an actor share? An actor shares their body, their soul, their feelings, and their emotions. And you are to focus on all of these things as an actor. This is the rehearsal process. Figuring out how to embody the metaphor of the play in your body, soul, feelings, and emotions. Figuring out how to become the story, how to become the character, how to become the message. Yay, how to become the metaphor through your body, soul, feelings, and emotions. These are what an actor shares. How do you do this? Through your breath. You do this through breathing in and breathing out. Deep, full breaths. And perhaps we can do maybe 3 in a row. Deep 11-second breaths, then hold, then 11 seconds out. All right, here we go. You notice how I'm drawing from below, pulling up on the inhale, and then from above, exhaling and going, releasing back below me. The title of chapter 2 is Relaxation. The quote of chapter 2 is, relax the body so the spirit can soar. The first teaching of chapter 2 is relaxed and open. Being relaxed and being open. This is what the actor wants to focus on. How can I be more relaxed? How can I be more open? What is the answer? It is through the breath. Full, deep breaths. Relax your body so your spirit can soar. This has been an Actor's Notes, chapter number 2. I hope it's been beneficial to you, actor. I suppose this is for all artists, but all artists in the theater even. But this is specifically geared towards actors to help them on their journey to grow as actors and to powerfully impact people in their performances. These are the wisdom gleanings that I have learned through my lessons and journeys in acting. Over a decade's worth of acting, and living in New York and Los Angeles and Dallas and Texas as well. And I pray they have been of some use for you. And we'll see you guys on chapter 3. All right. Until then, see you on the next one.